enlarging the slots in the deck, set the larger chain plates. So to do that, I'm just using that Dremel with it. So I'm able to get down there and clean everything up. So I'm having to do this because my new chain plates are thicker than the old ones. Another thing I want to do is to V-notch the top so the sealant has somewhere to go instead of just sitting on the top.
I drilled out the holes to 3/8 to match the oversized holes in the chain plates. So let's test fit these. If you're own an Alberg 30 and wondering where we are in the head locker. So this is the aft lower chain plate on the port side. Mild persuasion. And these are 2-inch 3/8, 2-inch long 3/8 diameter bolts. And when you're installing these, you want the bolt to come, the chain plate to be on this side of the bolt, so that way you have the full diameter of the bolt taking the load, not the reduced diameter from the threads. Look at that sexiness. Did not get there when it comes to chain plates, at least.
So some of the chain plates didn't fit the knees very well. There's some gaps or something else. Particularly the main ones where they bolt to this bulkhead over here. But then there's a little bit of tabbing at the top where the hull meets the bulkhead. So it's got a high spot. So I'm going to take a little bit of thickened epoxy and put it on the back side of the chain plate, and then put that up, and then put the bolts in. That way, when it cures, you've got a nice, good, solid surface for it to be bolted to. Now on this side, there's indentations in the bulkhead from the old washers. So I'm just filling those with thickened epoxy as well.
We repeated the process 5 more times so that all the stays were installed down below. After quick taping, we were ready to use 4200 to caulk around all of them to keep them from leaking, which has been a major problem in the past.
Sneaking suspicion that this knee right here is pretty rotten underneath, because when I pulled the bolts out last fall, like brown goo came out, which I'm assuming is what was left of the plywood. So there's the plywood. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do is cut along here, and then cut along here about like an inch up, inch or 2 up, and do the same thing at the top. And then I'll be able to pry that section out and pry the plywood out, and then I'll be left with a flange where I can slide in the new board. Yep. Oh, it is entirely rotten. Yeah. That was not a fun job.
Andy used thickened epoxy to glue the new plywood into the existing laminate. Then he covered the whole piece in fiberglass cloth. This process took a long time, so by the time he was finished, it was dark. But the finished product looks really nice. Our next few episodes will be installing our new aluminum spreaders and standing rigging. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all of our projects.